Hello, and welcome to The Black Massage Therapist. I'm Pauline Blackwood from Pendulum Massage in East London, where I work with people from all walks of life, including many desk workers, healthcare staff, parents, and busy professionals trying to keep their bodies moving in a world that seems determined to keep us sitting down. Today we're talking about something I see almost every week in the treatment room, what desk work does to breathing and our hips. You might wonder what these two things have in common. Quite a lot, actually. If you've ever stood up after a long meeting and felt stiff and noticed your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, or found yourself taking a big sigh at the end of the day, this episode is for you. I sometimes wonder what someone from 150 years ago would think about our daily life and our daily routines. Now, life wasn't so easy back then. People worked incredibly hard, and I certainly wouldn't romanticize it. But movement was built into the day. Walking, fetching water, cooking, cleaning, and working in fields or in factories, carrying goods, climbing stairs and using hand tools. All of these things, there was a great deal of variety as the body bent and twisted, squatted and lifted, reached and walked. Fast forward to today, and our lives are totally different. Now we wake up, we sit to eat, we sit on public transport, we sit at our desks whilst we eat lunch and attend meetings. On our way home, we sit again and we watch TV at our leisure. Even our social lives centre around activities that we sit in, and our bodies evolved for movement but have somehow adapted to stillness. Here's something interesting. When we sit for long periods of time, especially leaning forwards looking at a screen, our rib cage changes position in relation to our hips and our shoulders round forwards. Our upper back stiffens, our neck pokes out, or our chin may protrude forwards, and our diaphragm, our main muscle, our main breathing muscle, doesn't always get the space that it needs to do its job. Instead of deep, comfortable breathing, we start to take shorter breaths. The chest works harder. The neck muscles pitch in, and then the shoulders become tense. Some people don't notice until they're asked to take a deep breath. Others notice feeling tired, anxious, and unable to switch off. Breathing and posture are good friends. When one changes, the other often follows. The story of the hips. What can I tell you? Well, the hip joint is designed for movement. Walking, running, climbing, squatting. But sometimes sitting places the hips into a bent position for hours. The muscles of the front of the hips can become shortened, and the muscles around the hips and around the bottom become less active. Some people jokingly call this sleepy bottom syndrome. The gluteal muscles forget to do their job. They need to do their job properly. And when that happens, the lower back starts helping. The knees start helping. The body creates workarounds. Eventually, you may notice some things. A stiff back, a sore neck, aching knees, and difficulty standing upright after sitting. Feeling older than you actually are, and that's not right. So breathing and hips are closely connected, and this is one of my favourite parts. The diaphragm doesn't just help us breathe, it also helps stabilise our core. The muscles of the abdomen, lower back and pelvic floor work alongside it. And if breathing becomes shallow and hips become tight, the whole system can become less efficient. It's a bit like an orchestra. When one section struggles, another or someone else has to work harder in that orchestra. Massage often gives people permission to breathe deeply again. Sometimes I'll notice a client take their first truly relaxed breath halfway through a treatment. It's one of my favourite moments in the massage. Breaking the spell. The good news. You don't need to give up your desk job. You simply need to interrupt the pattern. Here are a few ideas. Every 30 or 60 minutes, stand up. Walk around the kettle. Walk to the printer. Walk to the window. Take 5 slow breaths. Lift your arms overhead. Have a nice stretch and roll your shoulders. March on the spot and stretch one hip then the other. Take a short lunchtime walk and if possible, use the stairs. Dance like nobody's watching when you make your cup of tea. Yeah, really. Movement doesn't have to be perfect. It simply has to happen. Being based in Canary Wharf, I see many people balancing long hours with demanding careers and demanding roles. The pressure to perform can mean the body gets forgotten until something hurts. But your body isn't a machine that can run without maintenance. Think of a movement as a deposit into your well-being account. A few minutes here and there can add up to a great deal over weeks and months. And sometimes you need a helping hand. Massage isn't simply a luxury. For many people, it's a way of resetting, a chance to breathe, to slow down, to notice tension before it becomes pain, to reconnect with the body that's been carrying the demands of work and life. And here's a challenge for you. I'd like to leave you with a small challenge which, for the next week, every time you make a cup of tea or coffee, take 5 slow breaths. Roll your shoulders. Roll your shoulders, stretch your hips. Walk around for a minute and notice how you feel. Small habits are often easier to keep than grand plans. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Black Massage Therapist. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, please follow, share the podcast with a friend or colleague, and leave a review wherever you listen. If you're working in Canary Wharf, Docklands or East London, and your body is feeling the effects of desk work, stiffness, stress, or long commutes, I'd love to help. You can find out more about pendulum massage, book an appointment, or read more wellness articles through my website, whether it's sports massage or relaxation massage, pregnancy and postpartum or oncology massage, or simply taking an hour to look after yourself. Remember that looking after yourself is not a luxury. It's an act of wellness for the self. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you sometime. Bye.